obia wo beti bie na wo behwe no on comment no wa like na fi wa share ama obia etumi enya bi. Facebook no Oyerepa live, Facebook Oyerepa live, YouTube no nso ewo ho eno nso betimi ahwe na wo de afa ho a kire wadwen ewo nsema hodo e de bremu emu ye de nsam ne bebre ebeba na nsa na ye bepe bre e de a kire mu no yenkohwe de di makotene bi ebra. The Electoral Commission a friends and trophy shemu ma wodi ato aban a wokro mampani Akufo-Addo ne de oba mampani dada joma manim say parliamentary results no baby bebranko yie enu ntompeso omo ye ne foforo mtwamu enti omo ma wo mo bambo
Yera Afia Broni e de ato dwa kire say Electoral Commission nhyehyeye a wo se wo beye no wakenkan ema ne foforo no enye emra kwan so
Yebe free and some no mu na yakobambo ehun sensem emu se yeto abawie a ne oba ban a oba na de wokọ hwan ene sese ohwe bambo hun sem e wabato mu esan se basabasa ye bebre akoso
na yebekọ ne yakọ akohwe eye Nigeria ban no emu arehosem afiri ho eba no enye asem keto akra
ensem bebre keka we ho ene yabo anu anwumre aye de ebesomo ye kase agudie nsem ewom ene jedie kase ewom saranso na special report no ye ne omanfo ni bi anante di nkomo eno so mo de bebe sikasem ne adwadie ho nkomo ni nyina yabo anu aye de ebremo na se sebe ahoma be hunu soro na onamdua bi so ena wo de ekoye de aseda be ma yabo afo ma so ye mu a madaro manwumre ye somo ba mo fie mu ni baby amowo DK events ese wo ye legacy night amachi dede ye nyame adomo a Bronya kwesiada 29th December no eno ebekoso Micklin Hotel ye bepe bre na ye di nchechemu aba Express Group nso sa kwantu nsem ne kire wo so na wototo wani ana hunu ba bia wo de befa to anamo bra wa ye krado abie wapono a wo de ebeje wo Newman College nso Department of Nursing so wo gia desuafo oba na tro wase afia o ya waiting results kra wo de fabra wo mo behwe atoto niema nyina atwamata chiman ebe kwada so ho na school yi wo bo hye ba electrical senso nkane apa ne ho nioma nyina o mo na akokra papa aba omo kan ya boafo ne ho ebi afi anwumre ye ya yebesom mo midin de Akua Asiedua mene
nana Afia Broni papa bi
afi yemfa brani yemfa kase ne nkyeremu entomo so Ghana abato asoye Electoral Commission enedai wafre nsamtwafo nhyiemu ama commissioner pani Eragin adoko emensa ono ne kasa ye ewudwuma nase ni nyina afa na no na otwemienu abesene kro omeya ba ye koto ye na sunsunso aso ba abonten eya asomdwe na nso enu achi no enoma ba komienu bi atochew ye sesempanifo hwe no ka ho asem mrahye bedwa akonwa ne nsem no ba bi bebre wo hɔ a asomdwe ama enu nti woni ekohwe abato ne so se electoral officers no omudi hu emene kasai ya bebi obobo aba ne koye no nkrata asem no nia danse se nipa no enenya ye makomako be dum ye no emu miensa de empanifo di kan ahwe a wo makenkan ne biem declare ni nyina na nkono foforo aka no na nei okoye ho nsem trofo nhyiemu a isi pani asema wodi to dwa no ne se wokeka bomo bebi wo hɔ a police stations makomako aduosia 60 edie ama me ka ho enti ntimi nyi 60 polling station every one constituency mo na won declare ba say ne wadu nkonim no na edie to mbesan akoso no makan ne nyina efoforo.
In the view of the commission, upholding such unlawful collations and declarations will set a bad precedent for our country and set us back to the dark days. I don't believe that as a country this is where we should want to go. What it implies is that anyone who has force or might can take over a collation process and declare himself or herself as a member of parliament or a president. As a country, we should not go down that slippery slope. We therefore use this occasion to humbly call on the President of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, as well as our President-elect, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, to intervene in this matter so as to ensure that the Commission is provided with the necessary security and protection to carry out its functions. We also call on the National Election Security Task Force to come together to put in place arrangements to ensure that our staff and our processes are protected and secured in a way that will ensure that the true outcomes of our processes reflect the will of the people as expressed on the pink sheets. We conclude by reiterating that as a commission, our mandate is not to make anybody a president or a member of parliament. Our mandate, as mentioned earlier, is simply to conduct credible, transparent, and fair processes that uphold the choice of voters. The elections on the 7th of December 2024 is a testament of that assertion. We'd like to finally call on the citizens of Ghana to support us in our bid to carry out our mandate.
Na enono echi no amanensi hwa electoral commission ne dia todwa say parliamentary results I free constituencies ahodo ni mu bi baaye no bebre no a wagitum enye obroni say invalid esanse nwiamu bi ene ohye bi ene ode share electoral commission dwumayefo ya omo so di hu e declare results no be be ekoye na ma me chairperson Gina Doko emensa e kira ene wo hia samtrofo so wo ka be be isi no gina e wasemi hu e de a kire omanfo nyina.
The Insawam Aduajiri, where parties, of course, on election day besieged the collation centers and brought the collation there to a halt. I must note that in the Ahafua Southwest and in the Ahafua North, as the collation on election day was also disrupted and no winners were declared. Those processes were incomplete, and until they are complete, the commission will not be in the position to declare a winner. In Obuasi East, the collation center was attacked by party supporters, and the returning officer was threatened with an axe. His hands were lifted up, and he was asked to declare a winner when that was not what was reflected on the results collation form. Again, that process was not lawful, and the commission would not uphold it. In the Okaikwe Central, I did mention that 110 polling stations results were used to declare a winner instead of 141. The commission would not uphold that process. In the Ablekuma North constituency, 219 polling station results were used to declare a winner instead of 281 polling station results. The commission would not uphold that declaration. Sorry, in Bono East, in Techiman South, in the Bono East region, the officer, the returning officer, and other staff were physically assaulted and forced to redeclare the results at gunpoint. The commission, it's important to note that the collation process had not been completed. There also, the commission would not uphold those processes. In Domi Kwabenya, there's some contention with 3 polling station results, and the commission is carrying out its own investigation with the 3 polling station results. I believe 367 of those results have been duly declared as legitimate. There are 3 results that are outstanding, and the commission is carrying out its own investigations to allow it, to enable it to take a decision.
Yeah, that's why the Electoral Commission one more aswe na chairperson Mami Jane Mensa nenkase mu no eno wo kire se sani ade no akwakoye no e wase wo mo sa kenkan e manofoforo na yehudie tue mu se de be ya nipa a wadi nkunim no yede ne nkunimdie abotere ebehye no na asemi nam so ama emrahye bedwani ema omanfo ya wo mo ewo South Day abato mpesua so Honorable Roxen eye Nelson Dafia Makpo e de atodwa kire se emrakwan so no se yekoto aba na ekoba se obi nte ne ho ase a ya na ye de kokot ntidie Mami Jane Mensa and Electoral Commission for pese wo mo ye no enye mrakwan so krenti NDC for wo mo gitumu a enye yie.
Now it is interesting that even though the EC has been sued and has been properly served, in fact, in one of the cases brought against the EC by the NDC, the matter is slated for tomorrow at the High Court in Accra, General Jurisdiction, particularly General Jurisdiction 2. The matter is slated to be heard tomorrow. And yet, EC conduct itself in a manner that I will call contempt ex facie, curiae, by holding this press conference, particularly ignoring the court processes that seeks to injunct this very conduct. The NDC is saying that in respect of these 4 or 5 constituencies that have been listed among the 9, we are challenging the EC from conducting itself in a manner to saying, for instance, that they will not recognize the declaration. The recognition or otherwise of those declarations doesn't lie in the mouth of the EC. It lies with the court of law. Only a court of law can declare those declarations as unlawful, and therefore whether or not a rerun of the election or recollation or whatever it is, it can only be ordered by a court of law, a court of competent jurisdiction. So the EC must be, the commissioners must be very careful. And I say this advisedly, because you see, under regulation 45 of CI 127, that is the penal provision. The regulation is to the effect that where a person conducts himself which breaches any provision of CI 127, the person upon summary conviction can be fined by a court of law, or can be imprisoned, or can be both fined and imprisoned. And it is not directed at the public at large. That provision also applies to EC officers, including the commissioners of EC, who will conduct themselves in a manner that breaches any provision of CI 127. Their insistence on recollation, which is very strange, which is alien to CI 127 and PNDC law 284, they are engaging in a conduct that will breach CI 127. And I'm cautioning them that tomorrow they may be hauled before a court of law in criminal prosecution, subject to the provisions contained in Regulation 45, which is the penal provision. So we must be law-abiding, not only as the participants in the elections, but the people who are also engendered in law.
Yet one some so and the about one command ye din dodo no a Ghana swafo hwe bambo ho nsem so defense minister Eyura Dominic Nitiwu ene wode atodwa say abato ni mu asomdwe nsem anko yie na security ehon nsem antumi anyina ne nan so a obi de hyaban a enye yie esanse bambo adwuma yefo gina obrane ya wo ye wadwuma e wo man no emu onam so de atodwa say obi a wo na adwuma ne so ne de ya wo ye na ye de boa kyekere oman ema ne kɔ nanim National Election Security Task Force wo ya IGP Dr. George Akufu Dampare ono ne panyi ana oda no ti se bibi ko etochew e wo wadwuma ye mu e wabato ni mu a IGP ene ne mpanyimfo na wo so mo be ma ho ano yie owura Anthony Akwe we security policy expert ono e wo Center for Security Dialogue and Peace Advocacy wo beba ahoma ne so na ye ne di nkomo e bisa no se de akwa ebe so ye de ho so bobo aban ye yie ana IGP no e na afeli nti ema ne hu se de oyeye no anso ani Mr. Akwe Oyerepa TV suni majoe
Bejo so miniaba
yama wa finshi apanso
afin combatien
da se papa de akoso abato ni mu ansa na ye beto aba no abato ni mu ne mu abato na chide asomdwe no ha se enhyeda nko yie ne ekwa nyina no ye de so bobo aban a eye yie ana se de National Security Task Force IGP da no omo ene sese ye momo ansa de ekoso nyina
yo miniaba maminchia washafo onye weti fa wajibu na washo no weti onyibre oye election security breach during and after say yede sombu bobo aban another National Election Security Task Force odinkan ojina bibia yeba pepi ye share oye specific security lapses say lapses no so fi policies on resource allocation na meka akaza oye security agencies a bobom na woye adwuma na wo hwe oye election security no se akaza no ayaza wankofom ye se meka akaza na meka de fi kala winya petrol oda wode yadam petrol ina gota phones oye about 62,000 security personnel that would deploy on will be using. Only other akazono so yaza during the election one kofum another winyan nododo na oye the lapses a one day they go to me at the sumbono yedabo abano. But abano otum provided all those things there. I want to show the yentu pass sumbono in pambo. Now in the case of the National Security Task Force, say that is the National Election Security Task Force. Say one operation in the one year lapses another fair be by one day Damisumbuny na able to make that ball. Or yeah, the National Election Security Task Force. Sunday operation activities in one no police station. We are talking about 40,000 plus police stations. Inti bebia ehobia kwadono na musumbono yebotum directly at that ball. Oye election security task force. Na miniaba no kono mo de ehwe approach na we use na oye share responsibility another share collaborative security approach. Inti obaya in there, yebaya bibe fan selective accountability. Yen to me ni pako yan fashion bonum famban. Unless they be ya pick from one perspective. So yeah, operation lapses, another be policy and resource allocation lapses. One able to market they be or ya ban for another or yeah election security task force no for.
I see. Tena we no chesa so bo no gisi ye chem. Wunti me mfa ni nyina fully ma onipa baako na asoye baako. Ne akwa ebe e de ne ma sa lapses no aba. Sanse Ghana police ni dey tried and tested ye nyina yenim. Said o madwuma ye wiase nyina akora gi Ghana police tum so o madwuma ye ho ete. E de ne koba ye ya enam so aye sa ebi mo church o madwen. E chese ebi pese o mo siki o madwuma. Eno betimi aye asem baako. E ne bi o so etuo no na no mo pese o mo tubo nipa. Ana so say dey adea.
Well, sir, earlier an overview analysis na a picky maybe a yenya you know some of these critical issues are on them to be show one kwa. For instance, in the context of Obuasi East, Sabakaya during the election video be out. Na a bench beer. Why
you soldier no?
Exactly. On you soldier, you know, picture opera you soldier in the crowd
need to one and some, yeah.
And one day no. So yes, your partner not subono yet bobo the Oye election security task force. One because we did be there before the election. I saw you for the cat bar one thing. Watch your day. One must show the Indian polling station unless they be a police banker start to serve someone. They be but there was all got to a polling station one or one was into.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, no, them so your phone call them getting young video out. Ghana Police Service. The election security task force no. Want to move for Katamba Montunde. One offer so your foot one bar or stand the BPS and all one wants to do another young one.
And now soldier phone and do a mopekoye. As I match them. Yeah.
Exactly. Jordan can watch him a gun of your taxi. And now, some no cordon so ye police here one station or another 5 service power station one. What to buy no better. What must start the issue between the police and soldier phone or the civilian. In the critical, election security task force, I want to say there, we will make sure that there's peace and then order. Until the man some no call then Kenya police in the away station or another fire service in the away station because if share deployments now where now on yet a police phone team. It was combination of immigration officers.
Oh, force workers in service workers in yeah.
Exactly. Now the military no what by standby force for any beyond security breaches biala.
Okay.
If you want to be able to market there, the Ghana Police Service or there more or less the election security task force to be able to be added. For operational lapses. And then another angle let's see able to march in there. Actually military now. Omampay or the commander-in-chief of the Ghana forces.
Yeah.
Or what to do. And even though no election no coordinate, but Omampay need to now Ghana better manu in terms of managing the soldiers, Omampay command is here now. The soldiers can do anything.
Yeah.
They who more code war. Rebecca Ashaman.
Yeah.
BBC ma. All of a sudden, the soldiers will move you. If you want also, you would to me a chipa analysis now. You would make this a day. And soldier for now walk on. And the commander in chief when you move here. So you move it and there was government interference. I'm not able to mark a day. Say, I'm critical analysis, able to mark or abandon super there. Almost count on them door control on the military energy. What to me at the way in baby. If you need me by your car. These are very critical analysis that we did there. In the next year, or the committee, another commission, no show more see that will inform us as in them or they put into place, going ahead in 2028, 2028 election.
Yeah, okay. Miss Akua, you better was Papa Penny Menu Wada Jewa home. Yada CPM our friend Shapa. Ebusian for Ora Anthony Akua, Penya or da security dialogue and peace advocacy, where security expert or no, and I'm say Yeneno Etchen common.
Kane chairman Edema woman for ya woman German North NDC Dimo Alhaji Adam Brima na openi ede atudwa kire se ekwan bi a court judge ede na faso no entwe yie kra eno nti ene wo friends amtrofo enhiemo ene wo de atudwa ya wo kire se Orua Emmanuel Ankama woye appeals court judge na papa de ne tumi afa kwan bi so echinchim ne nsa age ne nsa ase efri ne nsemu a enya mra kwan so eno nti wode na asam edan wo mampani John Dramani Mahama nei yasa to aba eyi no se nyame ya na dom na wo ba ebedi ne dwuma se mampani a wo momodin anu omo ano sebe ya ne nsa ebeka ne nsa ase a court judge age efri ne nsem
Manunse na mesasre chief justice ya oti akwemiam mesre bebri a judge bebri amafo enum aduro adia ya ne dia obuji firi ne nsam anu akonum aduro na ohia kwa ya judge akama edimi faso se mako bre ape mi mfifire mako mi fifire jako peska to me property oba be dina wi akete so agi me property nyadia betiase na me to proto no so no life man transfer oye ma me no ani kraka bi ti sebesre Ghana paying for the ekosudi na jaja kama no wunene kasa tamwa wodina so wodi protocol ka kire se na aban na wo power
Ghana mampanyina oba ene Supreme Court judge say asromo omomuai na Ghana ha say ne se wo kokoto a ayet se unisika untimi kokoto se be ye obimu wo ho a wo be kokoto no ka kire se ye wo judge bimu wo ho a wo ko na se ne se ne besi ampanyina pa wo kwakoduru no na sa pepepe odi ka kire no sa ne etiye tutimu so omo abokọ wo fie ansa na ye kokoto ho nti se ye be se judge no a se asamba ne ye de koto omoni ma omuntimi nka no e be se Ghana aba ne ene Supreme Court judge panyin say on se son momaye sebe ya de ya ye ni bi no ye betumi yakokot ne akokaya se ma ya dunkunim because
the Penya Commissioner General, the Ghana Boundary Commission, no ye Major General Dr. Emmanuel Kotia. And there was in a near Papa Paisan say, O mina ya bakosem. Abakosma ya ni se Ghana Boundary Commission no Bela ekoto ho Afia Broni 2023 no ene enchekra ye beje atum ama na be ye mra ya hye kwampa ye betimi afaso na be bia Ghana asase anu koduro epumumpo no bebi a yeto hye edukoduro no mpanimfo be hyehye ho mra nyina na akọ enkrata eso anopa yi ene ho amane beto odwa na one yensem training Emmanuel Kwaku ansa atwetwe ho nkomo amane ni free nkran
acts which have just been passed, and it is going to give us quite a number. It's going to give us a lot of confidence to be able to work with these neighboring commissions, and it is also setting a stage in which international best practices that have been added into the bill to be realized. It's important for us to note that the old bill did not have administrative provisions. There were no financial provisions in the old bill. Thirdly, the composition of the governing body was very skewed to some extent. Now we have an all-encompassing stakeholder ministerial representation on the governing body. And let me mention that that is one key thing, because the Ghana Boundary Commission is a strategic entity. It's a strategic entity on that wise. So the Act also strengthens the Ghana Boundary Commission to be able to work with its neighbors or to collaborate with its neighbors so far as boundary demarcations, settling of disputes, amicable settling of boundary disputes are concerned. And let me say that the law has strengthened the capacity of the Ghana Boundary Commission to be able to undertake these tasks. So the functions of the Commission, clearly, there are three main functions. Traditionally, the Commission is to demarcate land boundaries, delimitate maritime boundaries, and then secondly, to undertake cross-border cooperation with neighboring countries, and the third, which are considered the most important one, of social intervention in the private border communities, to intervene in the private border communities. And the Ghana Boundary Commission has started a lot of work in these areas before even the bill was passed, and we are very elated that the bill has been passed and the strength and the power has now been given to the Commission to undertake its work.
Ashanti Regional Fire Commander ACPFO Peter Tete edi atoga na fo anim se yebedi bronya nanti no yenye niema ebetumi aboa yen sebe ya wochine bi yebedi bronya na wie na fe yeba betwe adwadwo na asem ni nyina ne se wochire se ewie mu aye rese enu nti bibi kakre ni a wahwe yebetumi akwakofa eja edi aba enu nti yedi eja edi dwuma bia na yaya ahweyie ye pie montene so ayenka ne a yenunum no sade be ya enkofa oha kese emre yen na sei eno chiremu
ACFO Peter Tete ekasa ya wo chiremu se esan se edru ebrese ya eye bronya bra omanfo na nitimeje ebro so ema enema bi wo hono a ewo se wonmo eye nida ho se ne be ya enkofa gyahyehe bia ema enu nti anode afutu ene kyekye ema omanfo sabre ya ye di bronya no enije abesense wiemu no ye hwe se bronya ye die no ye betumi eye nida ho se ne be ya egyahyehe betumi abo ho ban won pese bronya yin ebekọ awieye no na obi su se wahwere ne japade enu nti ye hwe eja hodo a yedidi dwuma light hunsem ene ye mofra no mo fie no ye betumi ama ye nani akọ mo ho na tumi aboa ema bronya ye die no yetumi edi nani gie so ene asumdwe so sei anode tudwa
eka obi ase eja hihye wo ho nti bibia ye beye no ye ma ahweyi endi ye kan na yankoshi ye fie mra yes ye gi ye ni ebium ye safety officer ni nam omo kyerɛkyerɛ ni ya bɛyɛ ni yensese yɛ yenti wo sɛ gas a ye yusu onya te ana hu sɛ elikia bodia na hwɛ na siesi nya fire extinguisher wo fie hia sɛnea ye yusu fire extinguisher no na bibi ba wetime yusu pa cho bium memfa nneɛma bebree emplock ɛwɔ socket so ɛbɛma ahoɔden na ɛsɛ sɛ socket no di adwuma no ɛmmoro no so na ɛgya hyehyeɛ aba.
Chino, second in command, our Asante region, a fire service command, no, and so Edna no to moon, what say, will two our for pass, abre, a knockout to a hot door arm of Rana Batono. Our phone share now one more and sim quadano quite our Honsan say, a percy, a nunti, a jacket to be a better baby, no, it's me for you in the Cassia, at the passe, no, so at the tuja.
Jammer, you didn't quite a man home. I will knock out Yatoto was abre. Knockout no, and son of Beton, yet the matches, any other two. And also to me kofa oja eba benim say ya shembra say me and to knockout die nanso no yi na agyan abata no so se etumi hwe ma no ye e wo sa knockout no ho a ebetumi abo ye fie ene ebusu ho ban afi eja hyehyehye a eya etaba e wo ye fie mu no
Eja ehyehe edanchen ya wisie ya ekoni peduane nso mu no esai no ma bebre ewo ni peduane mu ebi ye wakoma ebi eye wahrawa ene womre boni ni peduane mu akwa a onyame bo yen odigu mu a eno a ne mayen ekoba na yenya hoden ene Food and Drugs Authority FDA na keka ne ho ya wonam so ede da ubobi aba tobacco eta ya nipa bebre no anom na omo kira ye womum yenu ye wo active ene ye wo passive active ni no ye de wono akosota no a wonom ye cigarette and also say ye weed and bibia di wisie ko nipaduanim na wonso a wote ba bia obi pu wisie na wonso hwia no wonso wo ye passive wonso yare no de be ye de wonom no wonso bitime ka ho wisie mpo a ye soso gya ede enu anuane ne nneoma hodo no ko nipaduanim a enye eni waye kasakire ede ama omanfo kwampa ye bitime ahwe ye ho yie na wisie anko nipaduanim ankose na ankofa yare amaye
lunch no and Dr. Martin Kusi wono no ye Western Regional Director Edema FDA and o kasa kire se yade wa kese na so no tobacco ya ekofa bre ni pedua enya de papa eno kan bi no mo brasa nema no se ne be ya onipa be jai no wo se yade de bre ni pedua no bi hypertension diabetes cardiovascular diseases ahodo stroke ene ne keka ho ene no wo kire se ye ohawa ni nyina ekofa ebeja ni pedua no sei ana odi tudwa
FDA for ye bodawu afa tobacco because tobacco usage and as a woman tano and as a great and bontono is so be papa. So when you indulge in these activities in the end, you know the health consequences will be hypertension, diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, stroke. So caricature we say, the smoker's body, the consequences of smoking. So be smoking if you are not careful, so that you can land yourself into any of these conditions. We work with smokers when you cancer of the leg, you can't mind.
What one kasa so no kire se o manfo a wan nim jot ni bi enom no e ka ho pa e ye won mo apomuden ene won mo bambo nti ena won mo yesa ne ma wisan se wo a wonim nom no wonam ba bi na so bi nom a e ha wo ekofa bejaw no ya na eso kra chane a wonom no eno so wo de ensem no bi kan ho sei ana de tudwa
bi e friend no smoking in public places. So for instance what to car and what was you feel na wa kra wo de a moment the next person be ba betrum no they say be awoba and now yere and now hoho no wo dem ho a public place. What it means is that you cannot smoke. But what I say and I say who drive a car what a nice Porsche car who na outing who smoke will be any problem. But moment maybe a woman will be lift okay immediately you take a lift sir o car no more be a public place. What it means is you cannot smoke. But what I say again maybe a wako pub bi anase bar bi ko se e bi a onu bi e ba ko bi ana onu mo to bi o be hwe no bi tin chen ba bi a so cigarette or smoking moment nipa bi ba beto na ho public place is any parliament mean sorry kwa no nya da onu cigarette nti eye inhye ma pub owners, restaurant owners, bar owners so mo de no smoking sign baby
Yebegyina afutuo a ekọ ede ama ye nyina efa wusie ya ekọ nipadua ni mu sa wo na wonu mu so bi na enum gu so ni nyina yare no ebenya opepepe enti ye mo ye ho ban wo sa kwan no so yebegyina so na ye de kase no akọ ahomegem kakra ye age yaboafo nkrato ye ba de to so a eba ye sports Solomon Carter wa ye krado ye
Shaba electrical Abusuafo yensan mama jone mama kwa banfamre kasebo no eso braso sensemo ayaboabo no e wa agudie mu ye de somo kasebo no so ye bewrem e wo the Black Galaxies o ma so nyame ya adomo a kwasiada ye ne Nigeria bo Chan qualifier Albert Amwa Razak Simpson ne Benjamin Asare o mo kasa e de fa game no e ho ye kwa ma no ne a Marcus Rashford and Manchester United in sensem no mpanyimfo ahodo bi e de oma no ato sa ensem Thomas Frank Brentford manager wono so e kasa e de fa fixture congestion honi nyina ene afoforo bi aboabo no se agodie mu nsem ene na anwumre ye de esom midin e de Solomon Carter ye hyase e de free the Black Galaxies of Ghana o ma so nyame ya adomo akwasiada ye ne Nigeria e bo Accra Sports Stadium wey a Chan 2025 qualifier ena eba so Albert Amwa Siakan edema kotoko sambo edema Black Galaxies so they atudwa ese kwasiada Ghana for more expect something different from Black Galaxies or team no. Well, ye free Albert Amwa na so ya Benjamin Asare ene Razak Simpson almost akasa e de afa game na de se de eno modema echitafo nyina se kwasiada mumra Accra Sports Stadium metai team na chi se de be ye beboa amoma hye Nigeria semno erem ewo amanone Marcus Rashford enche no de tudwa se opeso free Manchester United bobo kum de nani echire mo ba bi foforo ni nyina ne se ensemo a bade fa ne ho Man United